So I just want to show you the best way to put the bands on if you're having problems with the loading pin spinning. I just flip Squat Max up, and then you got to make sure I'm gonna clip it down here, and then I'm gonna clip it on exactly the same way, and then I'm literally going to pull it up evenly. So I'm going to pull it up, and I'll make sure whatever I'm doing on one side, I'm going to do on the other side. I'm going to clip it on here, take the slack out of it. So I'm going to make sure I got to pull this up evenly and do it exactly the same on both sides. And then when I hook this on, the band's going to be even on both sides. So if you put the bands on correctly down the bottom, this is the next important part to make sure they don't spin. We made this band peg a little bit long, so people tend to grab the bands on biasing to one side. I need to make sure I grab directly under here so that when I pull these bands up, they're going to be evenly, so they're not going to be making the loading pin twist. So now I'm going to reach down and try to do it the same way. I'm going to try to grab it evenly. So I'm directly under the band peg, and I'm going to put it on there. Good. If I did everything correctly with the bands when I put them on the platform, the bands when I pulled them up to the loading pin, this should not twist. If you're getting a twist and a lot of grind on your loading pin, it's because the bands aren't put on evenly. Here we go. So let's see what happens here. So I'm not getting a twist. I'm pretty straight on with the bands. And there's not a lot of grind on the loading pin. That's how it should sound. So if you're still having problems and you're tired of fighting the bands, you can get some PVC pipe. This is 1 1/4 inches. You probably can get some smaller PVC pipe. So I'm still going to try to grab it evenly. I'm still trying to grab the band evenly, but obviously the theory behind the PVC pipe is it's going to serve as almost a ball bearing that if you don't put the bands exactly on the same, that these things will twist when the band's pulling unevenly and let it even out. Let's see if this loading pin twists or not. As you can see, there's no twist. And it's very smooth. Listen to it on the video. There's not a grind. If you're grinding, it's because the bands are pulling unevenly. So I don't have any bands on Squat Max, just to show you the loading pin won't twist, and you shouldn't hear any grind. The loading pin shouldn't be grinding against the guide rod. Here we go. So if you notice, the loading pin isn't grinding and it isn't twisting. So that's why it's important to get the bands. First you have to set the bands on the actual machine correctly, and I showed you how to do that. Then you have to pull them through correctly and make sure they're even. And then you shouldn't have a lot of grind, and you shouldn't have that loading pin twisting. Thank you.